Alright you guys, so we are going to get started on this makeup, and yeah, so I'm going to start off by prepping my eye. I'm going to be using the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. I've been doing this method a lot lately. Who would have thought there would be a day where I don't use the Urban Decay Primer Potion? I used that for almost a decade, actually over a decade, definitely over a decade. That was like my product. I always used it. I swore I would never stop using it. But then I realized after trying out the concealer method a couple times that it works just as well. So the only time I'll still use a primer potion is if I am going to be wearing my makeup for a long time. I'm going to be taking the Saharan II palette by Juvias Place, and I'm taking the deep orange shade, and I'm just kind of packing that in my crease. I really want the full pigmentation of this shadow, so I am using a denser brush to really pack on the color, and I'm just putting that in the outer corner as well as the crease and bringing it all the way in. Now I'm going to take my Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm taking that light yellowy orange shade, and I'm going to use this color to diffuse the edges of the orange that I just applied. And I'm just going to really work this in and blend out so it's not so harsh. We want everything to be blended and faded, so I'm just working this up towards the brow bone, and I'm using very, very light pressure on the brush, and I'm even turning the brush on the side at points to really give me a very diffused look and not so harsh, if you know what I'm saying. Now going in with the brown from the Saharan II palette, I'm going to use this to add a little bit of depth into the outer corner, and I'm just packing that on in the outer corner and then just slightly bringing it in towards the inner corner of my eye. Moving on, I'm going to cut and map out the lid space. So I'm just using this little Colourpop brush, which is like perfect for this step. It's a little synthetic brush, and yeah, it's like my new favorite brush. But I'm also just taking the Colourpop concealer and I'm just mapping out the lid area. Since I do have hooded eyes, I tend to do this step always because it just really helps with transferring, with eyeshadows transferring into my crease. I'm going to wet my brush, any like facial spray will do, and I'm going to take that apricot color. So this is one of my favorite eyeshadows. It is kind of like a apricot base with a gold shift. It's super beautiful, and I definitely feel like I'm going to be using this a lot this summer. It just looks really nice, especially with the tan. So I'm just packing that on all over the concealer. Alright, once I have the lid shade on, now I'm going to go in with the pink from the palette, and I'm just going to lightly put this in between the outer corner colors and the lid to create a transition. And it's just nice because it just adds a little pop of pink, and I just really love the way this looks. You can use the brown if you wanted, you can do whatever you want, but now I'm going to apply Teddy eyeliner by MAC Cosmetics. This has been my go-to liner. It just really makes brown eyes and light brown eyes pop. And then I'm going to set that with the dark brown from the Saharan II. Then I'm going to go in with the orange. And then lastly, with a fluffy brush, I'm going to go in with the color from the Jaclyn Hill palette and just kind of blend everything out and smoke it out. Now moving on to the inner corner, I'm going to mix the apricot shade and the shade next to it, which is called Visa. I've used that shade so many times on my channel. It's my favorite inner corner highlight, and I will continue to use it always. But I mix the two together because the Aziza color is very like in your face on its own and very bright. So I thought the apricot would kind of tone it down. And I don't know the name of the apricot shade, so I'm just going to continue to call it the apricot shade because yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. But now I'm just going to apply liquid liner across the eye. I'm not going to do a wing. You could do a wing if you want. It would still look really pretty, but I just didn't feel the look really needed it. I kind of wanted the eyeshadow to stick out on its own. And now I'm taking the Aziza shade and just highlighting my brow bone just to give it a little bit of glow. I'm going to apply a little bit of mascara, and then I'm going to pop on some lashes. I used some random Amazon lashes. I am not sure the brand, the name, I don't know. So just use your favorite lash. These ones are pretty long, but they're pretty wispy, so I thought that they really looked nice because you could still kind of see the shadow through them. They weren't like a thick black lash where you couldn't see the work that I just did. But now I'm going to line my lips with NYX Nutmeg lip liner, which is one of my favorite lip liners ever. And then I'm going to go in with the Karity Cosmetics Lip Lock Liquid Lipsticks. These have been seen all over social media. I was kind of like forced to buy them because they kept popping up on my Instagram and my Snapchats. So yeah, I wanted to try them. They're supposed to be pizza proof and super long lasting, and they're only $6. And I'm going to say this, these are some of the most comfortable liquid lipsticks I have ever worn. I'm not a liquid lipstick wearer, but I loved these ones. They're so comfortable, so comfortable. So I use the shades Fade Out and Milk and Honey, and I definitely suggest them. And I love this lip combo. I feel like it's so pretty. I'll definitely be wearing this more. So that is it for my video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!